Well guys, one of the common questions that I used to get until last year when I started this channel, and also when I used to speak at different events and conferences, that what if India bans Bitcoin? What if India bans? And I used to wonder, how do I answer this question? I mean, how can you ban something that you don't have a control on? Or how can you ban something that exists like everywhere on every computer? It's just impossible to stop that thing, right? And Bitcoin is that thing. So this is an article which I found on Economic Times, by the way. So this is on Economic Times, and this is for all the people. So I honestly, hear those kind of questions. The number of questions of these type of questions asked are very less right now. So what I believe is that now people are really more educated, and people actually know that Bitcoin is something that cannot be banned or stopped. It just exists in the air. And so one of the examples that I want to give you, and also this is not the right example, I would say, a lot of elderly people in our family, with all due respect, they would tell you sometimes that you're wasting your time on Facebook, but the younger generation, the new generation, is always using this Facebook, Instagram, and the social media, and all these new technology, all these cool apps, right? Now, how do you convince them that this is where you get tons of information? Nobody really reads newspaper nowadays. The newspaper has gone digital, so everything is digital nowadays. There are tons of information which can be found on Facebook. You can connect with anyone on Facebook and learn so much more. Again, I'm saying this is not the right example. Facebook is a centralized technology, but Bitcoin is a decentralized technology. But just to give an example of how elderly people actually look at the new technology. Now, the reason I want to read this article, because finally we come to a situation where India is thinking of banning Bitcoin. So in this article, it actually talks about, is it really possible for India, or for that matter for any country, to ban a technology like Bitcoin? Let's go ahead and read this out. I just love this article so much that I want to go through this. So it says, every few months we hear that Bitcoin has been banned by some or the other country. As early as 2013, Bitcoin was banned by Thailand. So in 2013, Thailand banned it. And 2017, it was a big news when China banned Bitcoin, right? So China still has stopped the exchanges, but we all know that the maximum trading is done in China today, which is called OTC. The problem is, news is grossly misleading, because it is simply not possible to ban Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter. Bitcoin's price last year was hovering around 1,000 mark, whereas right now it is in the 9,000 range. This is in spite of all the bans. This does not fit into any market logic at all. But that's the beauty of the cryptocurrencies. They do not fit into traditional regulatory or banking framework at all. A different outlook is needed to understand how they work and why they were created in the first place, right? So that's why I said this is a very, very powerful article which I found, and I want to congratulate the author, and this is a must read. It says decentralization. This is because Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies that run on the blockchain technologies are decentralized. It means that they do not run on one server, one URL, or one IP address. These virtual currencies run on multiple nodes that can be owned and run by anyone, are usually spread across the globe. Doesn't matter what India is trying to decide on Bitcoin, doesn't matter what China decides, doesn't matter what Russia decides. The rest of the countries are bullish on Bitcoin. There is no central point for the governments to attack or block, as simple as that. So this is what I believe: if you don't control anything, you don't block it. You can only ban things which you have control on, right? So this is very similar to torrent protocol. I mean, most people actually do use protocol, especially the new generation, they do use. It's a peer-to-peer. At the simplest level, if I hold Bitcoin in my wallet and transfer it to your wallet, there is no way any government can block it, because this entry of transfer is recorded on a distributed ledger. This is not a centralized ledger like a bank, which can really stop you from doing that. So what has RBI done? Well, so what is this ban? If you read the RBI circular, they have never used the words ban pertaining to Bitcoin. It has only prevented any organization regulated by the central bank to deal with business that have anything to do with cryptocurrencies. Practically, this means banks will have to stop deposits and withdrawals to and from Indian rupee, that is cryptocurrency exchanges. This news spread widely and was seen as the ban on Bitcoin, which is actually not. It's not a ban on Bitcoin. Nobody can really do that. Apart from this, the RBI has issued several warnings about scams and risks related to. There are tons of scams right now into the space. People are misusing the name and the technology for whatnot. And I think every technology has been misused. So the Bitcoin and blockchain is nothing exception, right? It had also said that there would be a crackdown on the illegal use of such cryptos, which must be the tons of Ponzi scheme. I think we heard these Ponzi schemes are being caught every day, like BitConnect and several others, and they must be caught, in my opinion. But traders are still buying and selling cryptocurrencies under 3 months notice period. Now this is huge, right? We spoke about the other day, there are new exchanges actually coming in India. Instead of exchanges getting scared and shutting down their operations, there are more exchanges coming in. Think about that. Right? Even after that, the RBI or the government cannot technically ban Bitcoin. Also, in the latest event, the Delhi High Court has already challenged this circular, calling it unconstitutional, and Apex Bank has to present the basis of this restriction on the banks to the court. So the High Court, the RBI has been challenged in court that how could you even do something like that. So what are the practical implications, right? Other countries like China and US have already tried banning Bitcoin exchanges, ICOs and mining of cryptocurrencies. Although those events in 2017 caused the price of Bitcoin to temporarily fall, it went on to peak 19,000. Since most of the trading happens on international exchanges, Binance, Bittrex, Poloniex, and the KuCoin, right? Banning Indian bosses will only make Indian buy cryptocurrencies from foreign sources. This is something that we spoke about in the other video also. Over-the-counter options, because it is simply not possible to track buying and trading or selling of cryptocurrencies. In fact, in one of the news, we also covered that how the Economic Secretary Affair actually said that people should be actually trading cryptocurrencies in cash. That was on CNBC, conducted and hosted by Shireen Bhan, if you remember. Right, so that's quite weird to make a statement like that. So it says the bans in other countries like Japan have also resulted in exchanges moving based to countries with friendlier macro environments like Malta and Estonia. This something happened with Binance, actually moved out of Japan. And even though Japan is one of the countries which has regulated things, right? And India has not even. In India also, we heard these exchanges are actually moving out of India and moving to e-residency, which is from Estonia, I guess, if I'm right, and then Malta and the Switzerland, right? So at the best, these exchanges will move out, but you cannot really ban it. So this has only resulted in loss of terms or taxes for the governments or hostile countries. For everyone who is holding any coins, they would transfer it to a wallet, right? So most of the people were getting panicked that what do I do? I mean, still there are people who would say that what do I do if Bitcoin exchanges get banned? Well, keep holding. That's what I will do. That's just my opinion, not a financial advice, but that's just the simplest thing to do. Just keep on holding, because the rest of the world still thinks of it is of value, and people are anyway going to trade it for USD, right? So for everyone who is holding any coin, they would transfer it to a wallet or international exchange, then sell it on USD, convert USD to INR. Simple as that. This just hurts India because we will not be able to collect tax. This income, this is done in cash. Also, such a scenario exists only until the time enthusiasts can't buy much with cryptocurrency. That statement is quite positive, because if people start accepting cryptocurrencies, I mean, if you can get things for crypto, why do you even need to convert that crypto into fiat, right? As simple as that. And also, when you talk about if you're stopping the banks to stop the transaction, the other option have people will start trading in cash, which is not traceable at all. The cash gives option to money laundering. So in a way, you're actually promoting or encouraging money laundering, right? So with Bitcoin, we have seen this Streisand effect in play, which means the more the governments try to ban it, the more popular it gets. The more the news, the more the coverage. And in fact, Bitcoin really stands true on this. A lot of coverage that Bitcoin has got is thanks to the media. And honestly, media never spoke good about Bitcoin, but now international media does that. But Indian media still has to reach that stage. But a lot of credit goes to the media, for spreading the wrong information and news about, at least talking bad about Bitcoin. That's how people come to know about it. So what about the regulation? The only way to go about this saga is regulation, where checks are in place to ensure customers are not duped taxation profits, an era where exchanges follow KYC norms and legal compliance are in place. That would make it much safer for Indian citizens to buy, trade and profit from this revolution and be educated about the risk. In Feb 2018, the US government has called on for interdepartmental cooperation and allocated resources with the aim to create new legislation to govern virtual currencies. We already see that SEC and CFTC are quite clear on Bitcoin, and now they are talking about ICO, how to regulate ICO. So this is something that India should be doing the next step after they have first are clear with the Bitcoin. There is also an opportunity for our country to become Switzerland. Wow, are you kidding me? Are you serious? India is even thinking of becoming a Switzerland? I really doubt that. Switzerland of the next century, if the world government were to reduce taxes from trading of cryptocurrencies. Exactly. So if you reduce taxes from cryptocurrencies, the amount of crypto money to come in that country would be mind-boggling. I would completely agree with this. So let's say if India does decide to raise, India decides that, okay, we are going to be the crypto hub. We're going to be like Malta. All these Binance, all these biggest exchange are going to move here in India. Why? Because India is regulation friendly, right? So yes, there is clearly a chance for India to become the next Switzerland. This may seem like a pipe dream. Yes, it is. For me, it is like you're showing up a dream to everyone. But Malta is already going down this path and attracting major blockchain players, including the largest international exchange at this time with profits of more than 200 million USD. They are talking about Binance, more than the profits of many traditional banks. Binance has beaten Deutsche Bank, if you remember, we covered this. So what's the point she's trying to make? This may, every government wants to be ban it because it undermines the power of fiat currency, US dollar, Indian rupee and like that. But every government has tried and failed. And in 2018, it is accepted that there will be regulation rather than the bans. Exactly. So what's the point of creating Bitcoin? A lot of believers of Bitcoin see it as a way to liberate ourselves from the control of governments and the financial system, which is quite true, anarchy. And the point is to eliminate the need for printing money and, more importantly, banks, the intermediaries which are charging. Banks, most of the time, they have gone corrupt. I mean, they have defaulted trillions of loans, bad businesses practices, people have been mischisted with their money and whatnot. So banks, I don't think they are effective anymore. So banks moving out of the equation is a cause for celebration in the community rather than seen as a bad thing. As countries grapple with the regulations and laws, the cryptocurrency market cap keeps soaring every year. As they say, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Certainly, the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency idea has come, and the banks got to exit now. That's what I think. What do you think about this powerful article? I think this is a must-read article for every Indian at least who is concerned about Bitcoin RBI ban. Leave your opinion in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.